Hello, and welcome to another 5 Minutes with Mark. We're going to end chapter 5 by going through verses 35 to 43. Well, he, Jesus, was still speaking. Some people came from the leader's house to say, "Your daughter is dead. Why trouble the teacher any further?" But overhearing what they said, Jesus said to the leader of the synagogue, "Do not fear, only believe." He allowed no one to follow him except Peter, James, and John, the brother of James. When they came to the house of the leader of the synagogue, he saw commotion, people weeping and wailing loudly. When he entered, he said to them, "Why do you make a commotion and weep? The child is not dead, but sleeping." And they laughed at him. Then he put them all outside and took the child's father and mother and those who were with him and went in where the child was. He took her by the hand and said to her, "Talitha cum," which means, "Little girl, get up." And immediately the girl got up and began to walk about. She was 12 years of age. At this, they were overcome with amazement. He strictly ordered them that no one should know this and told them to give her something to eat. So, this is the continuation of the story that we started the other night from the beginning of chapter, or from the sort of the middle of chapter of 5. Synagogue leader comes to Jesus. We get the interruption of the woman with the hemorrhage, and then we get this story. And one thing to point out, and one of the things that puts these two stories together, is the girl was about 12. The woman with the hemorrhage had been bleeding for about 12 years. So there may be something special in that number. It may just be a way to put the story together. But as we see the beginning of this, they've been told the child's dead, and Jesus's response is, "Do not fear, only believe." And so then he takes with him a much smaller circle, Peter, James, and John. And when they come to the house of the leader, there's a commotion of people weeping and wailing loudly. And this is kind of the best way to put it is these were the professional mourners. And when somebody died, they would weep and they would wail to kind of signify to the community, to kind of draw attention to the fact that someone had died. When I grew up in my church, in the Catholic church I grew up in, we had about 10 ladies who came to every funeral. They were the professional mourners. And so Jesus says, "Why are you doing this? A child is not dead, but only sleeping." And that sleeping may very well be a reference to a couple places in the New Testament where Jesus talks about the saints who have died sleeping, awaiting his return. Probably. But he has told these people that she's not dead, she's sleeping. And their immediate response is to laugh at Jesus. And if you think about laughing, it's Sarah in the Old Testament who laughs when she's told that her and Abraham will have a son. And so laughing at miraculous things in the Bible is not unheard of. And so Jesus goes in, he says to the little girl in Aramaic, "Get up." Immediately, number 10, she got up. She began to walk about, which is a way of showing the reader, that she was alive. Um, and Jesus told them to give her something to eat so that they would know this was not some spirit. They were overcome with amazement, is another word for great awe. And he strictly ordered them that no one should know this. And I'm not sure. Jesus does that in Mark at the end of a lot of miracles. No one should know this. And this is the end of a stream of 4 miracles. No one should know this. But yet, there were the mourners, there were the apostles, there were the rest of the crowd, and this was a leader of the synagogue someone well known in town. Everybody's going to hear about what Jesus did. Thanks for joining me, and we will talk with you another time.